guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alicia, and I have just finished watching Inventing Anna on Netflix. So y'all, let's talk about it. So like I said, Inventing Anna is on Netflix. I think it's a limited series, but it was produced by Netflix and Shonda Rhimes. Shonda Rhimes. Did you think I wouldn't be tuning in? Please. Shonda Rhimes? How to Get Away with Murder? A masterpiece. Inventing Anna? Almost a masterpiece. But before we hop into my thoughts on Inventing Anna, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on those bell notifications so that you can be told when I upload next. I won't hold y'all with the long intro, so let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Alright y'all, so this is going to be a spoiler filled review because too much was going on to where I gotta talk about it. I can't hold back. So this is your one and only warning that, like I said, this is a spoiler review. If you haven't seen it and you want to see it spoiler free, go ahead, check it out on Netflix. Come on back so that you can talk about this mess with me. Because Anna had these people eating out the palm of her hand. You can't tell me different. You cannot tell me different. But before we get into that, let's go over, I guess, what it generally was about. Basically, if you haven't seen it, this woman, Anna Delvey, we later find out that her real name is Anna Sorokin, but Anna Delvey has landed in New York. She apparently knows all the right people. She knows all the right things to say. She's dressed to the nines in an understated rich people way. And so all the other understated rich people start flocking to her because they're like, oh, who is this new player on the block? So through a whole bunch of circumstances that other people could have prevented, I'm just saying, but through a whole lot of circumstances, like she assembles a team so that she can actually create an Anna Delvey Foundation. She somehow gets invited to all these parties, whether that's by dumb luck or what. I think it was dumb luck, but whatever. And then she ends up getting a financial advisor who tries to help her get loans. But to get the loans, the banks have to do due diligence, and she's not really rich. So she goes through a whole bunch of schemes to keep up this rich, lavish persona that she's created so that she can make this Anna Delvey Foundation happen. And nobody catches on until the Morocco trip. And I guess we can go ahead and get into that now. So after she's been living like the high life, like she has gotten to the point where she can take private jets without paying for them because she knows the CEO of the private jet company. And like, I feel like that should have been strike one when the employees are coming to run after you and like, hey, you haven't paid. And she's like, whatever, talk to the CEO. And so the other people were like, oh yeah, I guess whatever, I guess that makes sense. And like, or when she tried to go to that super exclusive party and she kept saying scan my ticket, and the dude was like, you're not on the list. Why did she think she would be on the list? Like, even if she was a real German heiress, you're in New York. Like, why would you think that this rich elite who's never heard of you would have put you on the list? That part didn't click for me. Like a lot of her harebrained schemes, how did she get away with as much as she did? Honestly, it comes down to embarrassment. The rich, elite, powerful, whatever you want to call them, that she was playing like a fiddle, were embarrassed. Because when she was staying with that one rich lady, I can't remember her name. I'll try to put it down here somewhere. But when she was staying with that lady, and then the lady found out that she had stolen all that money from her, she should have said something then. Because it wasn't a small amount of money. Like, I think she stole over like $60,000 or something. But the lady's finances were private, so she didn't say anything. Okay, whatever. But then Anna continues to steal. When she stayed at the hotels, when was she paying? How was she paying? Because she didn't have any money. Coming back to the Morocco trip, is when everything started to fall apart, because she was talking to her financial advisor, Alan, who was trying to get the loans, and he kept saying the banks are doing their due diligence, so we just have to, it's a waiting game, which it is. Like, banks don't just give out money for free. That's understandable, especially if not upwards of millions of dollars. Like, they're going to check to make sure that you're good for it. But instead of waiting, saving her money, she continues to spend it. She goes to Morocco. Like, even before she went to Morocco, she was spending her money like she had some to spend. But she was broke. And again, where were the mystery funds coming from? How much did she scam before she got to New York? Is all I could think. Like, she had to be scamming before she went to New York, right? Because she had to scam to get out of her hometown to even make it to New York in the first place. Because I know that wasn't cheap. Then she had to scam, probably when she first got to New York, to make sure that she could afford to pretend to be a German heiress. Because when she was staying at the hotel where she met Neff, she was handing out $100 bill tips. And she ended up paying the hotel the money that she owed for their stay. And she paid Neff back for the dinner that she skimped on. So where did the money come from? I don't know. But when they went to the Morocco trip, first of all, this is why I didn't have any sympathy for Rachel or Casey or that camera dude who came along. Because why did nobody bring any money? You never go on a trip without any money. That didn't make any sense to me. And then you're gonna see that Anna's acting funny with her money. So you want to put your company card on hold at the Moroccan hotel until Anna's mystery finances work themselves out, but not use the company card to pay for the $2,000 tour tickets that y'all were supposed to pay for? That part didn't make any sense to me. Maybe it made sense to one of y'all, because I was like, why would you use, like, your personal card was already on file because the Moroccan hotel people, like the managers and stuff, had busted in because Anna's cards were poo-poo. And they already took your card to leave it on file because they were like, somebody's gonna pay us. I don't care who it is, but somebody's gotta pay us or we're calling the police and y'all gotta go. And so why didn't Rachel just go with the lady from the little tour of the gardens that they went to and use her company card to pay for that? Because that was only $2,000. Instead of putting her company card on hold at the hotel. You've seen that Anna is acting funny. Old dude with the camera is saying Anna's acting funny. We gotta go. Something was not clicking in these women's brains. Something was not, I could not understand. I could not understand. And like, level with me here. So you go to a foreign country, right? For vacation. Apparently you come broke because when your friend says they can't pay, dude with the camera's like, I didn't bring the cash. You looking like, I didn't bring the cash. Why did y'all come to a foreign country with no money? Like, I feel like even rich people don't do that because they have common sense. Or maybe they do. But I feel like people with common sense wouldn't have gone to a foreign country. Not even a foreign country. Any vacation at any point at all. Why are you going with no money? So that's why I was like, when her card ended up being charged, I didn't feel bad. Because why did you go on a trip broke? Riddle me that. And then you want to obsess about Anna paying the money back. When you saw that she was acting funny in Morocco, like, why did you think you would still get your money back? You weren't worrying about the money when Anna was footing the bill with her mystery funds. But as soon as she needed you to foot the bill, all of a sudden you need your money back because you're going to lose your job. And a mistake you made. Because of a mistake you made. Like, even your boss was like, but you gave her the card. They had a point. Why did she put her company card on file at the hotel? Should have put her personal funds on hold. Because she worked at Vanity Fair in New York. You gotta be making money at Vanity Fair in New York. Because you could afford to stay in New York. Which means you have some kind of funds. You know what I mean? You see why I was sitting here looking real crazy at the way these people were behaving, and like Neff, when Anna wasn't paying her bills and stuff, and like Neff's boyfriend, now he was a trooper, okay, because he was the only one, he was trying to set Neff straight, but Neff was so far up in the Anna Kool-Aid that she couldn't even see straight. I feel like out of the whole friend group, Casey was the only one who had common sense, even though she was a walking, talking motivational poster. She was the only one I liked, but even then, well, no, she was the only one I liked, because Neff could not see right from wrong and defended Anna to the end, even though everybody could see she was a con woman. How that makes sense, but whatever. And then Rachel was just dumb. Rachel made bad decisions all on her own, so I didn't feel bad for her. Why would I feel bad for her? For what? No. But honestly, the fact that the journalist and the lawyer were also so far up in the Anna Kool-Aid, that woman just gave birth and flew to, was it Germany? Yeah, she flew to Germany just to continue on with the Anna Delvey story. She really said, forget this baby, I'm going to get my story. During that whole trial process, where was her husband? At home with their child that she had just pushed. Y'all, I'm not saying that she should have given up her career to be with that baby. I'm saying, number one, she should have rested. She literally just popped out a human being. And number two, you just popped out a baby. You don't want to say bye? You don't want to say hi? You don't want to spend, a couple of days with them? Because even after she got back from Germany, she was all up in that courtroom like it was her own daughter on trial. Like, she gave more attention to Anna than that newborn baby. And the baby came from you. I am confusion. Like, this man gave up his whole vacation with his whole family to be there when she leaves. I was disgusted. Their obsession with Anna was disgusting, frankly, because it wasn't understandable. Like, Inventing Anna was a good show in terms of the twists, in terms of, well, there weren't really a lot of twists, in terms of the drama and everything, and how everything kind of played out, and how, like, when they would rewind scenes to show you what, like, actually happened, all the different perspectives that they gave you, that was excellently done. The camera angles, the shots, the wardrobe. Please, Shonda Rhimes, Netflix, y'all did your thing. But the characters, and I guess we can get into that now, these people, I couldn't feel bad for anybody, and that cracked me up because I don't know who was supposed to be a victim, and I don't think anybody was. Like, the journalist lady, her obsession was not understandable. Could not understand why she cared about Anna so much, but she did not seem to care at all about the baby she literally just pushed out. I'm not gonna let that go, because how you care for a stranger more than you care for your own baby? Like, I really felt, the husband was a victim, and the lawyer's wife and the child. I feel like they were the only victims, because I didn't really feel bad for the banks. What money did they lose? Anna never got any loans, so they never lost any money, so why would I feel bad for them? All the hotels she stayed in were luxury, high-end hotels. So, like, why would I feel bad for them because she didn't pay her hotel fee? How much money were they really losing? All those people who stayed in the rooms before, after, and during her time, I feel like they made it back. So I didn't feel bad for them. I felt bad for her family, Anna's family, because can we talk about how invasive Vivian was? Anna's father said, I don't want to talk to you. She gonna stalk this man. Show up at his place of work. Show up at his house. Trying to peek in through the blinds. Just so she can get more for her story. I was disgusted. Vivian was so, all of the main characters are so, Like Neff, she kept, like her boyfriend said, kept giving herself reasons why she didn't film this movie. Or film her little whatever she was shooting until after Anna's sentencing finally. Casey, walking, talking motivational poster. What? But she was decent. Out of everybody, she was probably the most decent. I did feel kind of bad for her little fling that she was having when Anna showed up at her building trying to spend the night. I do think that she should have let her stay. I mean, that is your friend. And they're homeless now, so her being homeless was her own fault. And you can't tell me different. You cannot convince me otherwise. Because like I said, she had all that money. She had enough money to finally pay back the hotel that Neff was working at. The 12 George, she finally had enough money to pay for them. She paid back all that money that she skimmed out on for the dinner. I know that was a pretty little lump sum. She was giving out $100 bills as tips every day to anybody who worked in that hotel. All that money she should have been saving while she was out here trying to make money moves. That's the thing. The more I think about it, that's the thing that I could not jive with. That's why I didn't feel bad for her. How you a good businesswoman when you losing money, wasting money, spending all of your money? I don't need to go to business school to know that that's not smart. But let's get into the characters. So we'll save Anna. I guess we can do her now. I did not like her. Like, why would you fall for her? Why were these people obsessed with her? I don't know. I don't know who her target audience was. Well, yes, I do. The rich and wealthy. I'm not rich and I'm not wealthy, so maybe that's why. I don't understand why she was trying to live the high life in this way. Because I feel like if you're going to be a con woman, do it right. She did it so wrong. She spent all of her money and then was trying to bank on the loans that were maybe not coming in. Turned out that they didn't come in because she didn't have a fortune in Germany, like she said. And then she ran up her friend's credit card. $62,000. That's not small. That's not a small amount of money. Like, how you gonna charge your friend? How you gonna max out your friend's credit card and then max out your friend's company card? That's trifling. But she's a scammer, so what do you expect? Clearly her friends expected different, but that's not what they got. Moving on. So Neff, I liked her in the beginning. I like that she's loyal to her friends, but I don't like the fact that she's so loyal that she was dumb in a lot of situations. Like going to the trial and blowing it up, standing up for her when everybody can see that she's a scammer, but you don't want to believe that she's a scammer. Like, come on, stand up. Like they be saying in that TikTok, stand up. I'm glad that I do like the fact that, a little side note, a little tangent here, I do like the fact that both black women had loving, supportive black men as partners. I like that. And I know that this is based on a true story, so I hope that those aspects were true because I was invested in those relationships. So I hope that those actually ended up working out for the real people. The journalist Vivian, I did not like her. She was so invasive. Everybody's privacy. She busted in to somebody else's house. She was all up in that man's backyard trying to peek through the windows until the sun came and caught her. And she still didn't apologize for being on somebody's property unannounced. Like, she still acted so entitled to answers. And the family just said, yeah. I didn't like that part. I did not like that part at all. Because how you gonna let a stranger trespass on your property? You invite them in, and then just because she's a new mom, all of a sudden all that goes out the window, and you get her a new jacket, and now you're sympathetic? She was this close to breaking into that man's house. You can't convince me otherwise. She blew off her husband, blew off her new baby. Yes, I've said it again. These two are the sticking points. She blew off her husband. She blew off her baby. I can understand a career woman. I could understand her when she was saying, like, I want to have this baby knowing that I crushed it. Okay, I am with you. But then you kill it, you have the baby, and it's not enough. Okay, I can get that too. You go to Germany for more backstory on Anna. Okay, you know, that's for the story, whatever. I can jive with it. But then you borderline harass her father and show up unannounced in the middle of the night. You followed him home. No, Vivian was doing too much. And also, I did not like the fact, how is she gonna complain that none of what was it, America investigated? Or whatever that little expose thing was about bad journalism was? She was complaining all the time about how they didn't have the facts straight. They didn't know the whole story. That kid lied to her. But then she didn't go on air and clear the air and tell her side of the story. I was like, if you're gonna complain that much, go on TV and tell people what really happened. Really grind me of Paul, though, to throw her under the bus. I'm not saying he's not at fault for that, because he most definitely is. How you gonna do that to your friend? But whatever. The minor characters, before we hop back into the main cast, but the minor characters were holding their own because I could remember them. I can't remember their names except for Luke, because I feel like he was almost a main character with how much Vivian kind of relied on him. And he kind of really felt like the older, like, mentor character that the protagonist would have. I liked him. I liked Luke. But I like Scriberia. So those three, I really liked them. Her boss and Paul, useless. Absolutely useless. I like that he gave her a chance, but at the same time, I felt like he was just giving her a chance because he felt bad for her. And I also feel like he kind of knew that Paul threw her under the bus to cover his own self. Because otherwise, why would they start vacationing in the Hamptons or wherever else they were vacationing in all of a sudden when they were not that close before? Like, I feel like the boss was in on it, and that's why Paul threw Vivian under the bus. Vivian took the fall. Paul and the boss got real chummy, real close. You can't convince me he wasn't in on it. You can't. Especially with the way they ate up the views and everything. Please. They were in it for themselves the whole time. The whole time. Did not like them. Grimy. I mean, the husband kind of felt like a main character. Almost. So I don't count him. And then, like, the lawyer's family. The little boy. I felt so bad for him. And then the wife. I felt bad for her because she was trying to be supportive, but like you could see just how obsessed Vivian and Todd were getting about Anna. I was with the wife and the husband. Like, why are you so obsessed with this woman? Because how old were Todd and Vivian supposed to be? Because Todd kept saying like he feels like he has to be her father. Her father wasn't coming from Germany to New York to watch his daughter be put on the stands. And Vivian said she felt like it was like her daughter in a sense because she was the only one that she had. Why? Whatever. And then Rachel was dumb. Rachel made bad decisions and could not handle the consequences. That's all it was. That's all it was. The camera dude was useless. Why was he even there? Why was he even there? How you gonna say you like Rachel, you're interested in Rachel, but while Rachel is the only one dealing with the whole fiasco of the Moroccan hotel room not being paid for. So she's being basically like accosted by the Moroccan hotel staff. I mean, rightly so, because somebody's got to pay the bill. So like, I didn't feel bad on that front. But why are you chasing after Anna? Getting all involved with Anna. I was sick. And then how they gonna leave Anna in Morocco by herself? I feel like they should have just told her it's time to go, and all three left instead of leaving her in Morocco by herself, because then she wouldn't have charged Rachel's card and maxed them out. She didn't have any money, so of course she's gonna spend yours. I feel like that was poor planning. The characters overall were well portrayed by the actresses. They melted into their roles. They understood the assignment, but of course they did because it was a Shonda Rhimes production. I expected no less. I expected greatness. Every time Netflix would throw in that little thing that says in association with Shondaland, and that's what I got. Greatness. Please. Shonda Rhimes. Like, I could have stopped the review right there, but I'm not going to because y'all deserve the juice. I did not like how, I guess the underlying theme of this was the fact that Anna was to be celebrated because she was a young woman trying to make it in New York in basically a boys club, and she almost did it because Vivian would bring up how like she did so much and she got so much flack for the story that she did on the little kid who ended up lying about having all this money, even though she fact checked and everything else, and everybody clearly was in on it because how you fact check with his parents, with his friends, with everybody, and everybody saying he has money, and then when another news story comes, all of a sudden he ain't got no money. So I did feel bad for Vivian on that because she really did get played, and the fact that her editor didn't stand up for her was really grimy. But like, why are you using the clickbait of, well, it's a boys club and women receive harsher punishments than men? Because like, yes, that's very much true. A man can mess up and fail upward. A woman messes up, she is at the end of her career. Like, how many women do you know mess up but still get promoted, still have all these great things happen to them? Like, I feel like that's true, but the way this series tried to do it, they dropped it in little like awkward places. Anna was a scammer. Anna deserved to have some kind of consequence for her actions because she was a scammer. When Vivian talked about how like she was trying to build something and like people should have believed in her, but they were always trying to keep women down. That, it was when they tried to use it to justify Anna's actions that I said, whoa, do men and women need to have the same sentencing? Yes, because the men who have laundered money and everything else, the same thing that Anna was doing, no, they did not get, what was it, 4 to 15 years? 4 to 12 years? I think it was 4 to 12 years that she was sentenced. But I'm pretty sure I've heard of some men getting a harsh sentence. Either way, that's not what this is about. I'm just saying, don't like how they tried to use it to justify Anna's actions, because she was a scammer at heart. If anything, the only time they used it right was when it came to Vivian's situation. Because yeah, Vivian messed up, but she did her due diligence in the way that all journalists are supposed to. And it was her editor's job to come back and check her work, which he did not do. But instead of getting reprimanded anything for his own shortcomings, it was Vivian who took the fall, and it was Paul who got promoted. So in that case, yes, very much so, you can use that whole argument, because that's a valid point. That's a valid reason. But for a scammer, no. You're going in the wrong direction. We need you to come back over here. So with all that being said, I'm going to be giving Inventing Anna a 7.5 out of 10. All right, y'all, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and leave in the comments what you thought of Inventing Anna. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I don't know if I was the target audience, but I sure did enjoy it. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.